Board Gamers Anonymous, the podcast where everyone is welcome at the table, but of course, no one knows whose turn it is. This is Chris.
Hey, this is Anthony.
And this is episode 531, BGA Fantasy Board Game Draft, month number 5. We'd like to thank all our Patreon backers for helping us unlock a brand new episode. All right, friends, we're back, and we're so glad to be here with you. And not just myself, Anthony's back.
Who, me?
You!
I was gone?
You were gone. You were Chris you were a double version of me.
I thought everything paused when I'm not here.
Oh, it did in my heart, man. It did.
Okay.
And everyone's heart out there, they were like, when's Anthony coming back?
I've got that main character syndrome. I walk out of the room, I assume everything just stops happening. And I come back, everybody's just standing there waiting for me.
You did some solo leveling aura farming. You were just like waiting in the back for your moment.
Right. I was waiting. There's 2 episodes without me? What?
Like, no MC on this episode. We're not going to listen to it.
No, actually, those episodes did pretty good. Big thanks to Chris for stepping in, Chris Rodriguez from Board Games for the Better, because I was away and unable to join because of my location and poor internet connection. And it was awesome. It was really cool to listen to you guys talking through all the games everybody owns. I think that was a fun one. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it was good to get the actual hard numbers down. Yeah.
Because again, I think typically when we go to game night, we're trying to assume, if you actually have either gateway gamers or like hardcore gamers, like what do they know? What are they bringing? And like, what should I bring to kind of either, something they may not have or something that they're ready for, like next level.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like a really valuable list, I think, for people to make those decisions. And also, if you have friends that are gamers and you want to buy a game, don't buy these games because they probably already own them.
Right. Yeah. I think the biggest surprise for me is that 150,000 people own Terraforming Mars.
There you go.
I expect Catan, I expect Pandemic, Carcassonne, Codenames, Azul. Like, those are games, like, they're light. You can buy them anywhere.
Yes.
Terraforming Mars is a $70 game that takes 3 to 5 hours to play. Like,
yes.
150,000 people own that. That's nuts.
It's crazy. And Chris is one of them who does not own that.
That's even more crazy. Chris, come on. Hop on board. Join the episode next week.
I mean, his organization is literally trying to give games to people who don't have games.
That's
Somebody true. Give Chris a copy of Terraforming Mars, please.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We got to get you on it. I know you've been on top of this, but don't forget, everybody, next week is our board game club, Terraforming Mars. So hit the Facebook, hit Blue Sky, hit Discord, wherever you be. Let us know your experience, your history, your hot takes, all the good stuff with Terraforming Mars. We want to know because we're going to talk about it.
So even if they've never played it, do you want them to like yell in the comments about it?
Kind of, yeah. Like, why haven't you played it?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a reason. It's
Chris has
intimidating
reasons.
Because it's too long because. Like, tell us what those are.
There's a lot of reasons not to play that game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But yeah, we want to hear from you. It makes a big difference. And this is going to be our fancy episode, like a fancy book club podcast.
Oh, we're going to get the soft music?
Soft music, finger sandwiches.
I love how I asked that when I'm the one who would do it. So yes, we're going to get the soft music.
We're going to be like an NPR podcast. We're going to speak in very hushed tones as we talk about Terraforming Mars.
Gosh, I love this. We're going to roleplay this episode so good.
Excellent. We're doing it. It's happening, kids.
Welcome to the BGA Board Game Club.
Anthony, Terraforming Mars. It's transformed our industry so very much. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Let's talk about how. I don't know if I can do that for an hour.
Find out next week how long we can actually do that. We will try to keep our fancy accents up as long as possible to lend an air of respect and value to this very wonderful conversation about Terraforming Mars.
The 10th most owned game of all time. Just saying.
Telling you. Yeah, there was recently an article that popped up about literally Terraforming Mars. And Stephen Bonacore, formerly from Stronghold Games, who was the publisher of Terraforming Mars, was like, I got a game that could show you it will take X number of years and this, that, and the other. So people are thinking about it, and I guess it's a pretty cool concept that getting these games into the hands of young people who may be in the future actually doing the terraforming of Mars.
That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm. It's not
Somebody
too far
playing
off.
this, yeah, like I could play this game with my kids,
Yeah,
and in 50 years they could be on Mars.
yeah, or at the very least be part of the terraforming project of it.
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Guess who's playing Terraforming Mars this weekend? It's my kids.
And not Chris.
Yeah, not Chris. Unless you want to drive down, man. We got a space for you.
There you go. So that will be a really fun episode. So again, shout out, let us know. A lot of good things to say about it. And again, hot takes, controversy, up, down, left, right. For example, I have several hot takes, but I will save them for next week.
We got a lot of hot takes coming in, and I love it because everybody's got like that movie or that book or that TV show where you're like, I know this isn't great. Mm-hmm. I know it's full of holes, but I love it so much. And for me, that's Terraforming Mars. Like I'm aware of all the issues the game has, and I love it despite and because of those. And but at the same time, I love hearing people's hot takes or problems with the game because it adds context and texture to it.
It does. It's very true. But beyond that, Anthony, we also have something else fun coming up from a little BGA sister.
Yeah. So a couple things here to talk about from Board Game Academics. One, we have a new Victory Point essay that just went up this week from Grace Koletsky-Meisel. Everyone at the table, accessibility and universal design in board games. So Grace talks about specifically universal design and how it applies to board games, both in the design of the game and how the game is presented to other people. Very fascinating discussion that's kind of builds on their 3-year-olds' favorite games and how those games are accessible and sometimes are not. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really cool, interesting way to look at accessibility in board games, starting with like the earliest age at which people play them. So check that out over on boardgameacademics.com. Again, and just a refresh and rewind on Victory Point, this is our specialty column that we put out every month in which we are featuring the voices of diverse gamers and people within the game industry and people who are working practitioner or who are researchers or faculty in the space. But anybody out there who is doing anything with games that's interesting and wants to talk to the world about it, that we are publishing those on a monthly basis. So it's not the whole full 9-month rigorous academic essay process. You can submit an essay, you can share your thoughts with us, and we will get back to you very quickly, and whether it's accepted. And we have also grant money that allows us to pay for those as well. So you receive a stipend for your submission. So if you have something in mind, if you want to submit an essay, you can go to the website, you can do that, or you can shoot us an email, info@boardgameacademics.com, and I'm happy to take a look at what you have.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for emerging writers to come up and for people from a number of different communities, a number of different experiences in tabletop gaming to express how they feel, what tabletop gaming means to them, and its bigger part in society. So don't overthink it. Just reach out, read those essays that are on there. They're very good examples of what we're looking for. And we really like to add your uniqueness to the website.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy reading them and working with the authors. Just because it's legitimately like, it's the kind of thing I try to drill into my students. Like, tell me about your experience and how it relates to this subject.
Yes.
And these people bringing in these amazing articles and essays about their experience with tabletop games and how it represents something greater about what we do. It's so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot there. And again, don't overthink it. Just kind of, put something together and send it out. I know, like, many decades ago, just like watching anime and then like having thoughts about it and writing some stuff down, some notes about it.
Yep.
And just being like, wow, I have a take on this. I feel certain things about this anime. And you don't really have anyone to share it with. This gives you an opportunity to share your experience. And your experience, no matter who you are out there, is incredibly valuable because, again, we want every voice to be heard, and we really want to elevate as many voices as possible out there. So please reach out because we're here to help.
Yep.
But Anthony, that's not the only way people can reach out and connect and network and meet and have fun and play games and have those fancy conversations in those hushed tones.
No, not at all. In fact, we're going to have a big, long, wonderful opportunity to do that in October at the Board Game Academics Conference, which we're holding at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, October 4th and 5th. And registration's been open for a little while now. And we are actually just like shooting through our goals here. We are almost half sold on our tickets for the capacity of the conference, which means that soon we're going to start running out of space. So if you're interested in attending, please check out boardgameacademics.com/register. The tickets are available. There's a room block available as well. Wonderful hotel that's like a 4-minute walk from the venue. And we have lined up for you 2 full days of presentations from researchers, faculty, practitioners, and designers from throughout tabletop games, talking about everything under the sun related to how tabletop games are meaningful parts of society and our lives, and how they're using them and building on them in interesting ways. So check that out. There is a list there on the website going up soon of all of those presentation topics. You can also check out the recent articles that we posted on like a rundown of what's going to be coming up. And you can check out the tickets. So discounts available for students and adjunct faculty as well. So if you're like, money's a little tight, try to help you out a little bit there as well. So check that out. We are very excited. It's coming up quickly. We've been talking about it for a couple months now, but less than 4 months now until the show. And we're very excited to get up there and just explore the museum, which is an amazing space, but also share with you the incredible work that all of these presenters have been putting together.
Yeah, the registration for the conference provides you with a free weekend pass, and it's a great opportunity to connect back to the essential nature of play and how valuable and meaningful play is for us personally in our social context and in our connecting communities together. And we just want to make this as affordable as possible. So come see the museum. It's spectacular, and it really needs your support now more than ever because of the budget cuts that are happening. The museum itself has been asking for that kind of financial support. So the Strong National Museum of Play, October 4th and 5th, the serious side of fun, as Anthony mentioned, heavily discounted block of rooms that are right across the street from the hotel, and a number of different challenges and games and tournaments and speakers and behind the scenes tours. And you're never going to have a better time at the museum than you will with us there.
Oh yeah, we're awesome.
We are.
We're going to bring that place down. It's going to be awesome.
That's the plan. That was the plan. That's in the agenda. Bring the place down.
It's in the agenda, yes. We haven't told the museum yet. So
no, it's in the closing ceremony. Bring the place down.
Yeah. No, we're going to bring it up. We're going to support them.
Yes.
They do amazing work, and we're excited to be there with them.
No, they're fantastic partners, and we're so glad, and they've been so gracious with us. So again,
yes.
Check them out. If you haven't been there before, this is our first time going. So we're really hoping for a great time for everybody there.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's everything with the state of play with BGA. Let's do it, Anthony. Let's roll for preview.
All right. Rolling for preview. So there's this big old game.
What?
It's up on Gamefound.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we talked about it a little while ago, and it's already up to 2.2 million euros.
That's not real money, is it?
It's worth more than our money.
Oh, no. Who did that?
Well, I think we all know who did that.
Okay.
Agricola Special Edition.
This has got to be killing you, man.
I'm just kidding. This is not my roll for preview.
This is killing you, right? Like you're dying a little bit inside.
You know what though?
Yes.
How expensive this is? Kind of, people spending 459 euros, which is like $550 on Agricola.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Don't do that.
This is fantastic. I'm loving this.
It's so much money. What are you doing?
It's Agricola.
Whatever. It's $500.
It is a little expensive.
I mean, it comes with everything, but like, how much even is there? It's just like everything is upgraded. I'm like, okay.
Well, that's the thing, right? You could get the special. I mean, again, there's the standard edition, €79 plus all the extra costs and travels and everything
Right.
else. The special edition is 109 plus all the other costs and according, US tariffs and stuff like that. But if you're not an Agricola fan, you don't realize that it's really the expansions that opens the game up. So Farmers of the Moor is an incredibly valuable expansion for the game. And then there's a lot of mini expansions, especially with the cards. So that adds up to like, incredible amounts of stuff. And then the production here from Awakened Realms, just like what they did with Castles of Burgundy, is obscene. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. The workers here are it's incredible. It's unnecessarily incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's fine. It's just, listen, I backed the Castles of Burgundy thing
You
from
did.
Awakened Realms. It's beautiful. We've played it.
We have.
I did not back all the miniatures, and the reason I didn't back them is because I like looking at the game, looking at the video, looking at the materials. I'm like, this is going to add an hour to the game.
Yeah.
Every time I put down a tile that's a special building, I'm gonna have to go find it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna have to remember what it is,
Yes.
and I'm gonna forget what it is. It's actually gonna make the game harder to play. Like, and I feel like that's what's gonna happen here with Agricola. Like, it's cool to have the 3D animals and stuff, which you can look at a cow, it's a cow. You don't have to think about it. But when you start looking at 3D houses and mills and the acrylics and like the family miniatures and the stables and the fences, I'm like, you're creating a play set.
Yes.
It's not a game anymore. It's a play set.
That's true. I give you that.
Why are you spending $300 to turn your game into a play set? I don't get it. Like, and I didn't get it for Castles of Burgundy either, which is like a top 25 game for me. I don't know why we're doing this. And 1,100 people have done it. So if you've done this, I'm not necessarily judging you. I'm more just judging, like, not judging anything really. I'm just like, what are we doing as a society? But,
sure.
It's so much. And like, yeah, there's a lot of expansions, but
yeah,
they're all card decks. Like,
most of them.
There's one big expansion. There's the one big expansion, then the 5th and 6th player expansion, which shouldn't exist, as we all know. Don't do that. That's bad. Everything else is cards, and then the rest is miniatures. So like, yeah, they list out like 30 things you're getting, but almost all of that is aesthetic upgrades for $500.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's other campaign stuff that'll pop in as far as like as the campaign runs.
Maybe.
Extra irrigation here. They're showing day one irrigation, apple mills, and other stuff. Again, look, the conversation that needs to be had at some point. I don't know who it needs to be had with, but it needs to happen at some point with somebody. Again, I don't know who that person is, but somebody is like in the know or like has their finger on these things. It's wonderful, gorgeous to have. And Anthony and I have a whole secondary project for another day, but there's got to be a threshold, right? There's got to be at some point where there's diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the question. And as you said, Castles of Burgundy, because those tiles, with the special crafted 3D buildings are really almost impossible to figure out what you're putting out there unless you really know the game very well and hopefully remember it. You're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many games, even when we played like Suburbia, at least the original Suburbia, like you have to look at all the tiles to remember this gives you a +1, this gives you a minus this one connects with that. So
it's really tough. And like up until very recently, I continued to do this. We're like, oh, there's a big box of a game I really like. I'm going to get it because I love that game. And now it's a beautiful, perfect edition of that game.
Yeah.
But like, I got in the Kemet big box recently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It's like 1.5 feet high.
Yeah.
I had to like move one of my shelves to a higher tier so I could fit it on the shelf because no other shelf could fit it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so big. It's never leaving my house again. Whereas like the version I had, Blood and Sand, I took that to multiple people's houses and I played it. I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to play this game again because I have to get people to come here. And that makes me sad. I'm like, well, why did I back this? But I can't throw it out. It was very expensive, so now I'm stuck with it. And it's the same thing with like Anachrony and Mage Knight,
Suburbia.
and Eclipse and Suburbia and Teotihuacan and Castles of Burgundy and
Mhm.
Terraforming Mars. And like I have all these games I love that I don't play anymore because the boxes are so big and there's so
Mhm.
much stuff jammed in them. And I like all the fancy stuff, but then I don't know. I don't even know who I'm complaining at. It's because I'm the part of the problem. I keep backing this stuff. It's just it doesn't seem to work.
Listen to your own podcast, man.
I know. And if you're out there and you're getting these to the table, or if you have like a special storage or transportation solution, let me know. But it's just, ugh, what am I doing?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for Agricola Dead Harvest in 2026.
That I'm interested in. You give me zombies in Agricola, maybe it's a more interesting game.
You're just sad that they're not making this for Feast for Odin.
A little bit, yeah.
That would be like $1,000 game,
Probably.
right? Because
everything is 3-dimensional. Like, no, there's like 400 tiles here. You can't do that.
and those tiles are double-sided,
right? Yeah, you'd have to like swap out the minis for each thing.
Oh no, that might be the breaking point.
That's a game I don't think you could ever do this with, though, because the polyomino part is such an integral part of the mechanics.
Oh, don't tempt them, man. They're gonna do it.
Ugly and weird. Don't do that.
The game's already ugly and weird, man.
No, it's not. It's amazing.
Weirdly shaped food. Come on, the food's weirdly shaped. You have to say that.
Food is weirdly shaped,
Thank
and
you.
It's awesome.
Ugh.
I love it.
Some
Agricola,
people.
not so much. Crazy. Stupid high money.
The shipping. I mean, once upon a time, the crowdfunding thing was the thing because it allowed publishers to get these bigger games that normally game stores would not purchase to sell. And it became the space that, like, that would be the only place you could through these kind of systems. But now with the shipping worldwide, the VAT, the tariffs, it's even if hopefully you care about the environmental concerns as well.
Mm.
And now everything going plastic and heavy. And
that's true. That is true.
You're not shipping a regular game. You're shipping a credible load now.
Yeah, that $500 version of the game has $80 shipping.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
And that's not including all the extra country
It literally says does not include any extra costs regarding tariffs.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
In the future, they'll come with real animals in the future. You'll see.
Right. Yeah. There's literally nowhere else to go except real animals. All right. So that was we talked about it longer than I thought, but
yeah,
not actually looking forward to that at all.
Sure. It's fair.
The other game I wanted to talk about real quick is The Hobbit, There and Back Again, which is a new one from Office Dog, which is the Corey Kineska offshoot of Fantasy Flight and Asmodee, designed by Reiner Knizia.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's done a few games.
Just
a couple thousand.
He's up and coming.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. It's all right. So this looks like a relatively light adventure game, but it claims it's a competitive adventure game in which you're drafting dice and making pathways and kind of working your way out and kind of going on this adventure as Bilbo Baggins. So
you have to say the thing that you haven't said yet. What kind of game is it?
It's a roll and write.
It's a roll and write. Thank you.
Yeah. But it's also an adventure book game.
Sure. But it's a roll and write, man.
It's a roll and write, but with an adventure to it.
Okay.
So it's like story dice plus Lord of the Rings. Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. It's pretty flat artwork. It's kind of, I don't even know if I like it necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you have this adventure book and you're going to be drawing in it based on the die rolls and moving along. But it looks like it'll be simple and quick and inexpensive, I hope. And it has a solo mode, which you can kind of work your way through different difficulties. And it's not this big sprawling monstrosity of a roll and write. And it's Lord of the Rings, which we're getting a lot of right now, which is great.
We are. It's weird.
Yeah, I dig it, but there's been a lot lately. So, and yeah, you go through 8 different challenges as Bilbo of the Dwarves. So it's kind of walks you through the story of the Hobbit. I like what it's presenting. I don't know if the game will be any good, but it is Office Dog, which I know is a relatively new like imprint, but they have published the Fellowship of the Ring trick taking game, which is amazing. They published River of Gold, which is that much shorter Rokugan game, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
They've published Crafting the Cosmos, which just came out, but I've heard very good things about so far. So I'm cautiously optimistic with the other games they've released. So
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out on it, and there's a much higher chance I have this in my collection than Agricola Special Edition at any point in the future.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, it seems small enough. If the price is good, then it's certainly a good game to pick up.
Trick taking game was 25. I bet this will also be 25.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, 20 would be ideal, I think, for what they're showing.
Sure.
20. I think it'll be 25 because of the license.
Yeah, it's possible.
Which is probably too much because it's like 10 chits, 5 dice, and a marker, and like one little book. So
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot there, but yeah, they're paying for the Lord of the Rings license.
it's another game of that type.
Yeah.
As far as maybe they've been doing so well with the trick taking game, which obviously they are, that they're just like, why not? Right? Let's just theme it. Let's go for it.
That's true. It'll be interesting to see once we play it. Like, does this feel like Lord of the Rings, or does it feel like generic roll and write with Lord of the Rings slapped on it? Because the Fellowship of the Ring trick taking feels like Lord of the Rings in a trick taking game.
Yeah.
Can this do the same thing with a relatively simple mechanic? I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's giving you a smaller experience. That's not, I mean, it's not a bad thing if the roll and write stays within its safe space. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think so. And it looks like a short one, which is good.
Very, very good.
Yep.
All right, well, that's a roll for preview. Now roll for review, my friends. So, getting games to the table is it's always a little challenging as far as like I want to play big games, and ideally, if I can, I want to play Civilization games. And this year, a new game came out from Andrea Chiavicio, best known, at least for me, for Kingsburg, but also well known from Marvel United and Hyperborea way back in the day, and Signore. So excellent pedigree. And this is a civilization game. Expand, survive, and lead your civilization to greatness from Simon. This is a card-based civilization game. So when you think civilization games, I know we just went through this with our Civilization March Madness. We think big.
Yeah.
Right? And ideally, it should be big. This one is a little bit on the smaller side, and basically what you're coming down to is you have your own civilization board, and you have 4 resources that you're using to build your civilization up with. You have welfare, you have military, economic, and knowledge. And this happens over 3 eras, and in each era there's 3 rounds. And in each round, what you're going to do is you're going to pull dice from this bag, roll them, and then place them in these little dice area spots, kind of like a Zool. And then each player is going to select a set of dice, a set of 3 dice to put on their board. These dice relate to certain colors of the cards that you're going to be choosing from a market, and the pip number on there will show you the discount that you can use the dice for in order to purchase the cards, because each of the cards has a certain color and a certain number. So the higher the die, the less you have to pay in additional tokens in order to put that card into your tableau. So it just follows through that typical civilization building game where you're building early inventions, and as the eras go through, the inventions become more vast. So then you get to the second era, and now you have new inventions, which do something really cool, because the first era of inventions are the foundational for everything else that comes. And in between each of the eras, you get what they call these evolution cards. So if you built a certain technology, there's a natural evolution to it. You get that card in your hand, and then you can build that because you've already built the foundational technology. as people build the later technologies, there's another cool mechanic because the cards that they're building now, the newer technologies, tell you which older technologies go into obsolescence. Like they're out of date, they're too old, and those cards get wiped away from the game. They're no longer needed, they're obsolete, get rid of them. So if you're the player who builds that, you have to get rid of those cards, but you gain points. Everybody else, it's kind of an attack, and they lose those cards in their tableau. So those become outdated technologies. In addition to that, there are personalities, which kind of falls into like that Seven Wonders expansion with the leaders. So these are all different personality and leaders throughout history, like Cleopatra. And that's also going to give you points, and it's going to give you special abilities for that particular era. And then, just like your technologies, those personalities will go into the past. So there's a constant building up. You're building foundational technologies. You're building foundational personalities with thought that's going to score you points. And then eventually they all go past. And again, evolution of technologies become obsolete. 3 rounds of play, and then eventually the final scoring, which is identical to the rest of the scoring in the game, which is if you have a technology in each of the 4 areas, welfare, military, economics, knowledge, you score a point. If you have the most in a particular area, you score an additional point. And then personality cards will score you additional points depending on what type of personality cards they happen to be. And you can score some points in game. It's a very low point scoring game for a civilization building game. Typically, you think like it's going to be like, 50, 60, 70 points. But at max, you're looking at a 40-point total on the actual board itself. It's a very quick, easy game. All the information's out except the cards that you have in your hand through the evolution or cards that you pick up. There's some interactive ability because you're going to pick up the dice, and that's going to allow you to build your cards. What dice you do not pick up, this is the interesting part, is going to lead to revolutions in certain areas. So it could lead to riots. It could lead to overthrowing the government. So if those things happen, they're going to damage technologies and innovations in your particular tableau. And then finally, there is the Dark Ages. And if enough dice go into that particular area, if they're not selected, then people lose dice. They lose pips on their dice. So it just shows the idea that civilization has gone into a dark age, so people have less production and possibility to grow technologically in their civilization. So very small, very fast technology, tech tree kind of game for a civilization building game. It doesn't necessarily feel like you're building up a civilization because you don't have a named civilization. The technologies that you gather are not specifically strategic like the special abilities are, of course. Sometimes the special abilities can kind of chain together, but you're really just building like I can afford this, I can afford that, this gives me a special ability, this gives me a special ability, this evolves, this goes obsolete. So it doesn't have that overall feel that I've accomplished or I've grown the civilization, other than the fact that I met certain conditions to score a couple of points each round. So it kind of fits into that Seven Wonders, level of play, but it's not as thematic as Seven Wonders. And saying Seven Wonders is thematic is also a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
It does have some thematic play, right? The boards do have a civilization. You can build military. You can build science. You can build leaders if you have the expansions to kind of play with it. So overall, Anthony, it's a good game. I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep it. And I'm happy that I picked it up. It gets a play.
All right.
I could play this again, and I could certainly play this rather easily. It's not a hard, difficult game to teach.
Not bad, not bad.
Mhm.
I it's such a difficult thing to nail. The
It is.
relatively short
Yeah.
card-based Civ game. Like, it's great to hear it works.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Dark Ages because the dice that are not selected is going to add to crises
Mm,
in different areas. You can have defenses against those crises if you have certain technologies,
hmm
right? Oh, there's going to be a war. Don't worry, I have catapults or walls or castles or
hmm
something like that. And I like the idea that technologies become obsolete and then that affects everybody at the table, not just me or not just like, oh, it replaces a card. That's pretty simple. Like it attacks everybody as far as that's concerned, but it's not devastating. You can just give up a die to repair two technologies, but once thing goes into a past, it's in the past.
hmm
So it works. It works as a lighter game. It's fairly relatively inexpensive, obviously, to pick it up, and the artwork is charming. It doesn't reach necessarily the greatest civilization game of all time. Like I said, it's I love Seven Wonders, and this is like probably just below Seven Wonders, but it's still worth the play.
That's still not bad. Just
No,
below Seven Wonders is pretty solid.
yeah, it's a solid no nonsense gateway civilization building game. It's not nearly as complex as like Beyond the Sun. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot more complex. This is kind of like you throw something down table. It's a good civilization filler game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like you could play this if everyone knows the game. You could play this in I would say 45 minutes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Nope. Not bad at all.
There's a huge space for those. Like,
Yes.
I'm often have a gap where I'm like, I need a 45-minute game, and
Mm-hmm.
I own surprisingly few of them.
Yeah, we like the big games. We like the giant box games with all the pieces, especially when it comes to civilization games.
Yeah.
And this one will probably be a lot easier to teach than Seven Wonders because you don't have the drafting to it.
Right, right, right.
But it's lighter. It is certainly a lighter game than Seven Wonders. All right, well that's our roll for review. Anthony, that brings us up to our Voice of the Gamers, our special episode this week. We're going to be talking about the BGA Fantasy board game draft and, of course, the BGG Hotness for month number 4.
Yeah, we do the BGG Hotness every month. This year, we're mixing it up a little bit by combining it with our board game draft, which we ran back in January.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been 5 months. We did this way back at the beginning of the year, and we had several listeners, like a dozen or so, who participated in our live draft, picked games from our preview list for the year, and they get points every month for those games that make it into the hotness. So we run through the hotness, and then we update you on the score of the board game draft. So, well, let's dive into the hotness first. We'll talk about what games are hot right now. If you have not joined us for a hotness episode before, we do not go through all 50 games because some of these games are there every month.
Yes.
And it would be a boring conversation. Why is it there? Because it's always there.
It is.
So, especially towards the bottom of the list, things come on and off. But we talk about them as much as we can. So we'll kick it off here at number 50. This is a game that has been discussed a lot this year. Very popular. Far Away.
Ooh.
Yes. This little light game has been nominated for the Kennerspiel.
Yes.
So it's also nominated for the Azure and was a winner for the Azure games. So it's a very simple, light game in which you have a handful of cards and you take a few light actions, but it's been very popular so far. Moving up the list, we have a few favorites of ours from recently. We have Andromeda's Edge at 48, which is on and off the list of late.
Yeah.
Still very hot, but not up there with all the other new stuff. We have Cascadia at 46, which has not had any new content per se, but they have Cascadia Junior.
Yeah.
We have the app that launched not too long ago.
Yeah, Cascadia, is it Kids? That's the one that's on the Kinderspiel.
Yes, that's right.
It's nominated.
Kinderspiel nominee. Yep. So that's a fun one. Interesting drop in here is number 45. We have Dwarf War.
Yeah.
which is a self-published game from 2016.
If you say
Jumping
so.
it's right up here in the hotness. I always love these ones because I just throw it out there like, I don't know why it's here. And somebody will leave a comment somewhere and tell me why it's here. So in advance of that, thank you.
There you go.
Because I don't know why this one's here. It's a 3D tabletop game, self-printed, lots of interesting bits and pieces going on, but it's not a big publisher game. Moving up the list here, we have 44 Iridia, which we'll get to shortly, as well as Elder Scrolls at number 43. Talk about those in a little bit. Number 42, relatively recent announcement. We have Engine Thieves, the Andrews Railroad Raid of 1862.
Wow.
Yeah, this is from Compass Games, so it is a little more thinky war-style game, but with a different twist on it. It's not a straight war game.
Sure.
And it looks interesting. It's got the kind of command card system where you're like taking actions based on certain locations. And it's not about building a railroad, it's about a raid on the railroad.
Sure.
So, interesting.
Those 18XX games, they've had their time.
Right. Now let's take them down a notch by ripping apart those railroads.
That's what I've been saying for years.
Let's do it.
Those smug 18XX players with all their genius level mathematical intelligence when they play those games.
How dare they?
I know.
Slash I. All right, a few hot games here that we know and love. We got Everdell at 41, Dune Imperium Uprising at 40, Sea Salt and Paper.
Yeah, buddy.
Has been living on the list lately. It's at 39.
It's getting an expansion.
Ah, all right.
Getting some extra salt.
Was that the second expansion?
Yeah.
They had one before, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to leave it to you on Sea Salt and Paper.
It's my game, man.
You love this game. I
do.
Cool on it.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah, no, they had Extra Salt came out first, and then Extra Peppers coming out this year.
Oh, okay.
It'll probably be at Essen, I'm sure.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. Root is up here. I know we're getting close on that new expansion shipping out, and new content always dropping in the app. So
how do they keep doing it?
I don't know. And they keep saying they're done, and then they're like, just kidding, we got more.
So many woodland creatures with like aggression problems. What the heck?
I know. We're up to like 8 or 10 factions. It's a lot. Look
out, Everdell. They're coming for you.
Yeah. Dune Imperium, the OG, the one I still have. Great game.
Mm-hmm.
White Castle. Great game. It's a hot on board game arena.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it has a new expansion, but again, maybe you tell me different. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I still have not played this game.
Dude,
I don't know how this keeps happening.
Sit down and play the game. It's online. Just do it.
I guess that's a thing I need to do.
Yeah. All right. We got at number 35 this game that people have been talking about for a couple months now, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but every time I see it up here on the list, I'm like, I want to play this game. Wondrous Creatures.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a big publisher, not a big name. I think the designer has worked on several other games that are kind of in the same vibe. Shallow Sea. But we have just this kind of very cool, soft-spoken game about animals.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Shackleton Base, A Journey to the Moon at number 34. This one came out not too long ago, like end of last year. About
very
setting
cool.
up a moon base and the bad things that can happen when you do that.
Uh-oh.
Castle Combo, recently nominated as a Spiel game as well. Also on Board Game Arena. So lots of talk around that guy. Terracotta Army was a board and dice game from 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this pop up the other day. I meant to dig in and find out, hey, what's up with this game? Or are we talking about this one again? And I still don't know. It must have been on sale somewhere.
Gotcha.
Right? Maybe?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's like one single comment thread in the last 6 weeks. So I don't know. Moving up the list, we have classics, modern classics, Slay the Spire, Endeavor Deep Sea. Endeavor nominated as well for the Kenner Spiel.
Yeah.
So that's a big one up there. people were talking about that. I think it was already on the Hotness, but then obviously a Spiel nominee is going to jump up as well.
Of course.
Wingspan, because it's Wingspan.
Yes.
I saw a thing the other day, and I wish I could get down there. It was like the National Museum of Natural History they're like hosting Elizabeth Hargrave and all the other designers of the Span games to talk about how they built those games. I'm like, that sounds fascinating.
It's incredible.
I would love to be there for that, and I can't. I'm not even that far away, but I can't make it out for that weekend.
Sure.
We have the new Tashini game, Transgalactica, which shipped from Devere not too long ago, here in like the last 2-3 weeks. So a lot of people playing that one, getting it to the table. We have Galactic Cruise at 25, just holding strong with all those shipments out from the Kickstarter backers. Bomb Busters, which is a Spiel des Jahres nominee. Have you played this yet?
Yes. It's good.
You have?
Yes.
It's good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sometimes these games you're like, okay, I guess, and it's got like these different party elements, and it's okay, but Hisashi Hayashi has some amazing games, but also some games I do not like. So, like Trains, Yokohama, amazing. Sail to India, not so much.
A little bit of a problem there. A little disconnect.
23, Forest Shuffle. I like throwing this out there because every time I bring it up, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're... is it an expansion or a re-implementation, I think?
Forest Shuffle?
Yeah,
Darkmoor. It's coming out the Darkmoor one, the sheep, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's take the pretty forest and turn it into sheep.
Yeah, not a fan.
It's a game that was already too long and kind of meh, and now it's longer and even more meh.
That's pretty much the case.
Yeah. All right, we've got Heat Pedal to the Metal at 22, which is just chugging along always. People love this game.
Yeah.
Agricola, of course, at 21 because of the Gamefound campaign.
Yep.
Inish and Inish Nemed,
Yes.
which is the new version or update to Inish.
Yes.
Currently up on crowdfunding.
Really pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Were you tempted at all on this one?
No. I mean, I was so hotly anticipating Innis when it first came out the first time, and I was so excited to play it. And it's not a bad game. It's just I've played the mechanic so many times. I don't know. I feel I honestly am very conflicted about it because I really do like the artwork so much more than the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
That it just I don't know.
I was in the same boat for a long time. Like, I really liked looking at the game.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really liked the first 60% of the game.
Sure.
And even with that expansion, the end never quite worked for me. It just dragged it too much.
Yeah.
It just felt like everybody was like, can we just be done? Finally, we did it.
Yeah. It's just it's unfortunate because it's just a lot of the same stuff over and over again with the game. It's just like, I move this to here and you move this to here, and all right. Just like, pretty game, like it.
Yeah. Maybe the updated version streamlines it a bit because that's what it needs. But I don't know. I didn't back it either. It's too much.
Yeah.
Again, I got that giant Kemet box downstairs now. So
no going back, man. There's no going back.
That is my Dudes on a Map game now because it is enormous.
Yeah.
So Terraforming Mars at 18. I did not see a reason this is on here. Anything new with Terraforming Mars?
Yeah, we're doing a podcast next week on it.
Oh, yeah, it's us.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're big.
It's great.
We're big.
I did see a post the other day. Someone's like, are they doing anything special for the 10th anniversary? I'm like, 10th anniversary?
Oh, no.
But yeah, the game is 10 years old next year.
That's crazy.
That's how long we've been doing this.
Not supposed to tell people that.
Yeah. They know. Episode 531. They're like, oh, yeah, you have been doing it a while.
Might be sometime. This might be the first person's, like, the first episode. They're like...
Yeah. They look at the number. They're like, oh, this is a hot new podcast.
Yeah, man. Like, that's Anthony guy. He's on that podcast.
They're not on year 12 at all.
No.
Oh man. Okay. A couple hot ones here. We got Brass Birmingham at 17, Spirit Island at 16, Harmonies at 14, Arcs at 13. You all know these games.
Mm-hmm.
You know them well.
Yeah, they're good games.
Yeah. Some new ones here. Number 12, Line of Fire Burnt Moon.
Ooh,
Yeah, cool name.
I like the name.
So it is a game about the robots battling for control of the volcanic moon Io.
Ah, that same theme again.
Yeah, always this.
Ah,
It's a two-player card game with a deck building component in which they have reworked the Undaunted formula
mm-hmm.
into a lane battling system. So think like Air, Land, and Sea meets Undaunted
Okay,
on the fiery moon of Io,
love it.
which I am all about. And Osprey makes amazing productions. Like they're just always top-notch production quality. So um, that's a really cool looking game. Number 10 is The Hobbit There and Back Again, which we just talked about. A cool little roll and write, hopefully. I say cool, I haven't played it. Hopefully a cool little roll and write about The Hobbit. Deep Regrets has been up here on the list for a little while now. This is a relatively new game that is also related to Shallow Regrets, designed by Judson Cohen, who worked on similar other things like Even Deeper Regrets and Hideous Abomination. So, just cool looking illustrations, weird fishing theme, got some pressure luck elements in there. People are digging the weird elder gods Cthulhu style approach to fishing, I guess.
Who knew that's what you have to do to take care of Cthulhu? Just get a fishing rod.
There's a video game that does this too, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but it's a thing.
Okay.
All right. Number 8 is Flip 7, which is another Spiel nominee.
Have you played this yet?
I have not.
Chris and I had a contentious debate about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one of you is pro and which one is you con?
Chris is pro.
Okay. Not a fan.
I'm con on this.
Yeah.
You can play on Board Game Arena, which I would recommend.
Okay.
Because it's quick. I will leave that for you to discover.
I will do my best because almost all of the Spiel games this year are on Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
To play through all of them before they announce the winners. Because I would like to talk about them. I'm sad I missed that conversation last week.
It was pretty hot, but we won't talk about that. I don't know if, we'll see if Chris decides to ever come back on the podcast.
Oh no, Chris, come back.
Oh man.
Play Terraforming Mars and come back. All right. Next up, we have The Dark Quarter. This is a new game from Lucky Duck Games, Van Ryder Games. And it's from Evan Derrick, who designed Final Girl, Detective City of Angels, Dark Moon. Lots of very heavily thematic games with strong solo components. And people are saying this is best at one. So you are solving mysteries in the 80s while dealing with the supernatural.
As you do.
Yeah. And it's got very 80s schlocky B-movie artwork on it.
It does.
And people are digging that.
Yeah, very cool. It's a throwback.
Not my vibe, but I know it's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
6 is Fate of the Fellowship, the Lord of the Rings pandemic game, which is not out yet, but is on Board Game Arena. So I think that's probably why it's up here. This is not supposed to ship until August, I think.
Sure.
We've got SETI at 5, a hot game all around. We've got Agricola at number 4 because of Gamefound campaign. City of Six Moons at number 3.
Yeah, what is up with that?
This is an Amabel Holland game, and Amabel Holland releases a bunch of games from their own publisher, Hollandspiel. And it's a game about alien civilizations. It's solitaire only. And I don't know why it's all the way up at number 3, except just generally, like Annabelle Holland, they do interesting things with games. They explore interesting ideas. It's not generally just like, here's a game. There's always something else going on there. And I wish I was a little more up to date on why this one was kind of at where it is. It came out at the end of last year, but yeah. So Hollandspiel has published a bunch of stuff. Infamous Traffic, Meltwater, table battles. So there's some interesting stuff here.
Yeah, I think those solo games, they have their world of their own. Like it's a really
True.
it's an aficionado kind of thing, because anytime I talk to a solo gamer, they're like just very eloquent on like the game mechanics. Like I guess you get really personal with them when you're on your own there.
Yeah, for sure. Number 2, Agricola Special Edition. Is this the first time we have seen 3 of the same game on the Hotness?
wait till the Dead Reckoning happens.
Right. So we've got Agricola taking up 6% of the BGG Hotness right now with 3 different games. And then last but not least, we have Rise of the Oak Dell. This is a new game from 2 Acorns Games, designed by, Prismschlaw Fornal.
Okay.
Apologies. Who also designed Terracotta Army. There you go. That's why it's on here.
Yeah.
So this is the new one from that designer, and it is a development of a civilization game. It is a roll and write, and you are building the civilization as you draw it out. So, roll and write at number 1, Chris. What do you think?
I'm disturbed by this.
Yeah, this looks like the kind of sprawling roll and write that even I'm not really interested in, but I don't know. People seem hot on it. I don't know why, but
super hot.
Probably because it's story driven and the artwork looks nice.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll live with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things too where anytime a game, I mean, less these days, but it's on Kickstarter. So
yeah, that'll bump it up.
It'll just pop up there. And I guess Kickstarter's not getting so many games these days, so
no, so they're probably promoting the heck out of it.
Yeah.
All right, so there's your BGG Hotness. Now let's do a quick update on our standings for the board game draft.
Ooh, nice.
So in the month of May, we had 8 games picked up points, and all of those games except for one previously had points. So the rich get richer.
Sure.
Including ourselves. We are a team in this draft, and we've done quite well so far. So games that were on the Board Game Geek Hotness when we checked it in the month of May include Iridia, The Paths We Dare Tread, which has dropped down in the hotness, so maybe it won't be on there after June, but we'll see. And that's Team BGA. We picked that. We have Ryan D's pick, The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era, which has also been on every month of the year so far. We have Andrew's pick, Great Western Trail El Paso. Dave picked Cyclades Legendary Edition, also on the list. Andrew picks Trans Galactica. We just talked about that one. Ryan D also picked Vantage from Stonemaier. Team BGA picked up Galactic Cruise, which has been on the list for most of the year so far. And Tim gets on the board with Galileo Galilei, which I talked about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And dropped off the list pretty quickly, but you never know. These games can come back.
Yeah. Well, the conventions are coming up, so we'll get some play.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, our rankings and standings, we have Nick at number 6 on the list here with 2 points. Dave has 5 points. Tim has 5 points. Andrew at 6. Ryan D at 9. Running right behind Team BGA at 11. And it's not embarrassing at all to win our own contest. But yeah, we're only halfway through the year, and this is only up through the end of May. You know, we have points in here now for June because we're doing this like a week later because I was out of town. But again, like you said, Chris, we got conventions coming up. Origins is in a week. We have the Gen Con previews are going to start going up after that. Essen previews coming up later in the summer. So this list will get weird soon, and I'm here for it.
Loving it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Until next time, this is Chris.
And this is Anthony.
And we'll save you all. See you at the table. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Hey there, Hugh from Podderation here. If you like today's show, why not check out Make Believe Heroes, a family-friendly D&D show for all ages. Join our eclectic, lovable cast as they explore the world of Manumi and beyond in a show that's designed for everybody to be able to enjoy. If you'd like to hear more, check out our website at podderation.com.